Now, the whole nose breathing thing, because I have very bad sinuses, I'm sure you've had your nose broken and you've had things where you can't breathe in a fight. So I guess you have to learn to breathe through your mouth when need be.
Yeah, well, the whole deviated septum thing is because, I get hit in the nose quite a bit. It's weird because one side can be completely blocked off, but the other side is just like extra wide. So I don't know, maybe I'm getting, just as good air just through one nostril.
Does that throw you? Can you breathe like that? For me, I become obsessed with it. But can you actually breathe, or do you try just not to think of it when you're in that situation?
No, the crazy thing is sometimes it gets moved over so much when I'm boxing sparring, just because the boxers have a really good jab, that I have to stick a toothbrush or my finger up there and try to move it over, because it's jammed up so high it makes me sneeze uncontrollably. So I just have to try to move it back.
That might be the most amazing thing I've heard in all the fighters I've interviewed, is that you might put a toothbrush in your nose and move your septum.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the difference between, fighters that came up a little bit, back in the day versus the fighters now. The fighters now, a lot of them coming up just want to be famous. They're not really about that life. And, for my second fight in Tijuana, my gym only used to be open 4 days a week. It was just a regular jiu-jitsu school, and that's all we did. And so I had to do all these other things to prepare. So me and one of my training partners are like, hey, let's just go to the park and roll. So me and him are rolling in the grass at the park, and I end up hitting the sprinkler and splitting my knee all the way to the bone. And I'm thinking, oh, damn, I'm 2.5 weeks out from my fight. I can't get stitches because all I do is jiu-jitsu and roll, and so I can't be on my knees. And so I was trying to think, and I'm thinking, what would Rambo do? So I go back to my house, and I get a butter knife, and I tell my brother, hey, I'm going to stick this on the stove. I want you to cauterize it. And so he's like, okay. And so I heat up the knife, and then he goes I want him to stick the knife in the cut and burn it, and then I'll just, take care of it, wrap it up, and I can keep training. And so he sticks the butter knife flat on my cut, and it basically opens the cut more. And I was like, it burned the hell out of me. And I was like, idiot. And so I took it from him, and I had to do it again and actually go into the cut. And then, I kept it clean. I kept the ace bandage and kept it wrapped up, and I was able to train. And then it scabbed up really bad. But I wouldn't have been able to fight. But at the time, I thought that was the smart thing to do. But looking back, I'm like, all right, maybe I was a little crazy.
I stand corrected. The toothbrush is the second most incredible thing I ever heard. You put a hot butter knife in your own open wound just so you could fight. But you're right. That's the difference. You're an older school guy, and young guys probably want to run off to the ENT and get everything fixed. And you're like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. And you just jam it up your nose. And you actually did move your septum over a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I do it all the time. One time I had to do it with the toothbrush. I had to get a fine one with more of a rubber bottom, so that way it wouldn't hurt as much, because the plastic kind of hurts. But I moved it over quite a bit, and I started getting a bloody nose. But it's going to keep getting broken or pushed over, so I just do what I got to do. Eventually, when I'm done fighting, I'll get surgery on it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. When you're finished fighting, you probably just get it set one more time, and then you'll be good.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, we love talking to you. Obviously, good luck against Kron Gracie. That's a really, really interesting matchup. And I'm glad you had a full camp before and time to train for it. And, as opposed to taking something, if something happens last minute, regardless of who wins, you're always like, well, if they had a full camp, so it's nice that you guys both had a full camp to prepare.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. I'm excited for this one. Me and him competed when we were blue belts. So, that was 15 years ago. So it's exciting to get this one in.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, good luck. And that is, let me just make sure I got the date. That is October the 12th in Tampa. That's a really, really great card. And good luck, man. Fight Night 161. And we're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Cub.
Thanks, guys.